It's tough enough to shoot a film on the streets of New York, but to shoot one with an icon like Mr. Sandler.
Damn right. Yeah, that is.
He told me to say that, but no, I mean, are people screaming, "You can do it!" while you're doing one scene?
A little bit, that'll happen, yes. And I can do it, they're right.
It's motivation, it's nice.
Yeah, it's like, he's right, let me get it out. That's it.
No, this is not my Passover Seder. This is actually talking about a great new movie. It's like being on the brink of a heart attack for 2 hours in the theater, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. What's the appeal of this character? Is it about working with these guys, or is it about this particular character that excited you?
Working with these guys, when I got exposed to their movies and I saw what they have done and how amazing their stuff is, and the fact that they wanted to work with me, that was exciting. And then when I read the movie and would hear them talk about the character, I was like, man, this is just something I have to do. My wife read it too, and she was like, my God, this is just, these guys are incredible, and you got to be a part of this. So, you know, she helped me get more courage to jump into this character.
Well, what's scary about it at this point in your career?
Not a career thing, just me, just day to day, waking up, being a different guy. It's not a light, fun comedy that I love doing. My intentions on my movies are to just have a good time, make sure everyone's laughing, walking out of the theater happy. When I was doing this movie, I was just having to concentrate on a whole other part of my head.
Was it tough on your end to convince this guy?
Well, 2012, we sent the script over to him, and then eventually he saw Good Time and then immediately reached out to us, and which was surreal, you know. And I let him know that on set of Good Time, whenever things were getting a little tense and no one wanted to start, I would just scream out, "I'm hitting the record button now."
The old albums, the boys like the old
Love though. So when I heard it for the first time, I let him know that those early albums meant so much to us. So that was.
And it was like it was a conversation. You know, you had questions about Howard,
right,
and then we were like, okay, let's work on this together.
Yeah,
and then it became a deep collaboration, because once the character's on the page, it's one thing, but then when you find somebody to breathe life into that character, it's a whole other ballgame. You know, you have to redo a lot of stuff, and it was just a lot of fun.
There's no one who works more like a maniac than this guy, and it's unbelievable. And it was nice because we experienced that in our own lives. We just want to work, and you know, he pushed and pushed and pushed. You know, wanting to get to know every little moment. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? Why am I looking over here? And it was incredible because it really makes you focus on every microscopic thing that we already are doing, but it's nice to have a collaborator who's doing that completely.
And Howard never stops talking virtually the entire.
Yes, you're
I mean,
right.
this is probably
You're
more
right.
dialogue than you've ever.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, and people don't think about that, but that's like a real thing. Like you have to like fill your brain with a lot of text.
These guys always used to say about Howard, he just dominates a room. Comes in a room and takes over, and just no matter what's happening, it's like, all right, I'm going to run the show right now.
I mean, it has that like an Altman-esque kind of thing going on, where there are 6 different conversations going. Are there lines in this film that are always going to be stuck in your head to your dying deathbed?
These guys give me a new line every day. They text me or they video a line from the movie, and we have a lot of fun. I think our favorite back when we were shooting it was the scenario.
Yeah. When we were prepping for the movie, we hung out with a real jeweler named Todd Volpio, and he works on the block, and he was very helpful and generous with his time, and Sandler hung out with him a lot, trailed him among other jewelers, but when we would be in the room developing this character, Sandler would look over across the room, he would see one little detail, and he'd just look over and look at me, and was like, we need that. But the scenario thing came from hanging out with Todd, because he would it's a scenario.
Also, what was so hard was Howard has so many different modes. There's Howard at home, there's Howard selling, there's Howard in the back room, you know, it's like, he's always got to keep track of that all the time, and it was just amazing to see Sandler turn him on.
I never expected to see Adam Sandler in a fight with The Weeknd on the big screen.
This has been coming a long time. Ever since The Weeknd
that goes back way back.
The stunt coordinator that you got, it was kind of loose.
Yes, it was.
Looser
It looks
than
like
usual. Yes.
Well, that was both you guys doing it.
Yeah.
It was like the fight is just.
Well,
it's all them.
real violence is always messy.
Yeah.
The Weeknd's stronger than you want him to be. I didn't expect The Weeknd to have strong hands and kind of solid solid and moved me. Yeah.
Does this give you a little cred working with The Weeknd back at home? Do the kids care?
Yeah, that's a biggie. Yeah, that's a biggie. We listen to a lot of Weeknd in the house, yes. And a couple of his tunes, I gotta say, my girls are a little young to feel that sexual vibe in the air, so I will go to the next track. But when I'm alone, I feel sexy with The Weeknd. By the way, The Weeknd, when he came by, in the scene in the nightclub, is singing that live. He's singing it live. He did it like 4 or 5 takes. Yeah. And it was powerful, man. The whole place was going bananas because he just got this silky voice. It's perfect.
Yeah, everyone got like a
out of
tiny
nowhere
little private concert in
not a bad deal.
2019, not realizing 2012, you know, that was kind of the norm for him.
Well, what was amazing was I remember we were going to do a dirty shot of him. So we're like, oh, we don't actually need you to sing. It's okay. You can just kind of pretend. And the whole crowd was like, sing, 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 sing. And he just was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And he just went off. And
God, he killed
people were so excited. You know?
Yeah, it's amazing when someone just opens their mouth and like, Pat, you have that.
Yeah.
I remember when I first met you, you used to say you had a better voice than him. Yes.
Can we go back to the tape?
Nah, there was no tape. You were saying it privately to me. Like,
Why are you trying to start me have a beef with The Weeknd? You get into your own fights with The Weeknd. One of the things I love about what you guys have done in your films is mixing, you know, professional, amazing actors with non-professional actors.
Yeah.
You've worked with non-professional actors before. David Spade, obviously. that was just I had that written down. But does that keep it fresh and interesting to work with?
It kept it scary at times
because
the guys they roughed me up. A couple of the boys they hired, and we got along great. They're all great guys, and they were excited to be in this movie, and it was like a gangster movie at times. And some of these guys, are just tough dudes, and they roughed me up pretty good. They didn't exactly know how strong they were at times, and I walked away with some bruises.
His whole body was red. It looked like a cheetah.
That scene in the car, it was like,
They were
all right,
choking me out
you got to
pretty
hold
good.
back, and they would just latch on to his arm.
He's turning red.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a few
I
takes
actually
I
pissed
had
my
to
pants
tap
during
out.
that scene.
He was scared for me. I had to tap out on one of them. I was getting choked. And they were the nicest guys. It just like they're used to fighting and used to going at it, so they would get riled up with it all and throw me around pretty good.
I'll say that I pissed my pants from laughing.
Oh yeah, was that what it was? I thought you were nervous.
But it was nervous laughter.
There was, and then after I remember it was amazing. After you tapped out, Tommy he did it again. You were pretending to be choking. He was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. No, I'm acting. Go.
Oh, right. And it was great because he used to say to me, Adam Sandler, this is so crazy, and he'd say, Mr. Deeds, man, that meant so much to me, and I'd say, oh, cool, man, cool, and then in action, all of a sudden, he'd change, I'd be like, I'm Mr. Deeds, man, calm down.
Sadly, there are 4 very big Knicks fans here, and I'm surprised. I mean, you had Kevin Garnett in this film.
Yeah.
You could have, 2012, you could have gone Mello or Amare.
So we started writing the movie in 2010, and it started with Amare. He was playing overseas, and he didn't want to change his hairstyle, so we ended up going back to the drawing board and looking at other players. And then once we met Kevin, he's
pretty funny.
Yeah,
There's a passion.
And just one of these people, you talk to him, you don't want to get off.
Man.
Very interesting person. And
knows a lot. He
Yeah.
knows a lot about sports. Knows a lot about history. Knows he is a strong man.
Yeah.
If you could will one thing into existence, either a Knicks championship or Adam Sandler getting an Oscar nomination for this, what do you want?
We all want the Knicks. We know it's just better for New York.
No.
Me getting an Oscar would be like funny for a day. The Knicks winning a championship changes the tone of a whole community.
Yeah, come on, it's a championship.
They have one, and it's like lasted
That's good for
45
40
years.
years.
Yeah.
For 40 years.
Exactly, man.
I mean, you're getting such amazing accolades and well-deserved for this one, Adam. And it's
right.
The thing that surprises me is that it is surprising for people at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
come on.
This guy's worked with James L. Brooks and Jason Reitman and all these amazing filmmakers,
Sure.
PTA. Do you have more confidence now going into this kind of situation than back when PTA?
Probably. I mean, I always was confident I'm confident that I'll put the work in. And these guys not only believed in me, but this project meant so much to them that I just don't want to let them down.
I'm curious, when you first kind of made this shift and started to let it work in this kind of other sphere, on Punch Drunk, were those first days nerve-wracking at first?
I always get nervous, more nervous in the rehearsal process and figuring out what I'm supposed to do and what everybody's seeing and what I'm seeing and how I can click with it and make it my own. So on the set, I think I get there. When you shoot a movie, it doesn't matter if it's day 1, day 10, it's in the movie.
Right.
So you got to be ready day 1, and I think we prepared so much, and that's the way to do it.
The last year in particular must be so creatively satisfying for you.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
the
yes.
Netflix special is amazing. You toured with that a lot.
Yeah,
We got the benefit from working on the coattails of that.
Yes.
They think because I was doing so much stand-up and that I was more alert and more ready to improvise and come up and remember lines, and I think that's probably true. It's
Yeah,
probably
for
true. I was alive from being on stage a lot.
Yeah.
And I did have a great time doing that special.
And the Farley tribute was just remarkable that we
Thank
saw
you,
both
yes,
in the
yes.
special and on SNL. Is that tough for you to do though, like repeatedly, to like think of your friend in that way and like it must be.
It was a moment every time when I was on the road doing it. I would say, here we go. But I think just that crowd reaction, I was excited to hear them cheer for Farley and see the images of Farley behind me. It just made it like a different mood for the audience, and it was a big high knowing that they loved the man so much. And also the best was talking to Farley's family and them talking about their mom being psyched, and then Mrs. Farley wrote me this long, sweet note. I was away all summer, and when I got home, this note was on my calendar from Mrs. Farley, just talking about how much that song meant and how all her friends, it just brought up a lot of nice stuff because people keep talking about Chris again to her, and it was
Keeps him alive, yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
That's
It was
awesome, man. You've resisted the urge over the years to go back to, like, outside of Grown Ups, I don't think you've done another sequel to any of your characters. Is there any of the old characters that you ever think about coming back to in this age of reboots where literally everything gets a sequel and a reboot?
I don't think about it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore, man. Maybe it'll happen.
All evidence
Maybe
to the
it'll
contrary.
happen. No. But I do just in real life walk around as Bobby Boucher a lot.
Sandler's the character. Boucher's the real guy.
Yeah.